Die, Pikachu, die, Pikachu, die, die, die! I take my anger on Pikachus for my computer being broken all weekend. Jeez. Alright guys, so this is a Pokemon battle with Pokemon Trainer Gak from Abras-Asylum. This is a Ubers battle. I don't do any of these very often, so should be interesting, I hope. So I lead with Sedinja because Sedinja doesn't really have many Pokemon who can hit in Ubers, so it's a pretty cool lead. I go for the Will-O-Wisp, and that's going to burn the Groudon, which is pretty cool. And, yeah, the Groudon is burned. He sets up Stealth Rocks, which I'm kind of afraid of, and then he roared, which I kind of wasn't expecting, and that sucks because my Sedinja is now useless with those Stealth Rocks up. So he roars me into Darkrai, and I just decided to go for the Dark Pulse. I'm pretty sure he can't really do anything to me because his physical attack is halved due to the burn, so I feel pretty safe just staying in, going the Dark Pulse. I mean, it's a pretty good play. So I hit it with Dark Pulse. It looks like a 2-hit KO after the burn. He goes for the Earthquake, but because of the burn, I take that fairly nicely, so that's pretty awesome for my Darkrai. And, yeah, I decided to go for Dark Pulse again to try to finish it off, but he is going to try to save Groudon for later and go out into his Fortress. So I do go for the Dark Pulse. That's not going to do a whole lot to Fortress due to the resistance, but still does a considerable chunk. I'm just going to go for the Dark Void because I want to put this thing to sleep. I would rather it not try to set up more entry hazards on my team. So I go for the Dark Void, and now that thing's asleep, I'm going to try to Thunderbolt it, so it hopefully will die to that since it's a neutral hit. So I go for the Thunderbolt after I get the Bad Dreams damage, and it's going to barely survive, and that really annoyed me because he gets the first turn Wake here and it sets up Toxic Spikes. So he got the first turn Wake and survived my Thunderbolt, which didn't make me happy, and he got some Toxic Spikes off, which is going to be annoying in the long run. I'm just going to go for the Dark Pulse now, get a useless crit, and take down the stupid Fortress. So the sunlight is still shining, and he's going to go out into something that I did not expect, and I misplay here against this Jumpluff. I go for the Dark Void, and I really don't know why, because I completely forgot about Chlorophyll. And that misplay is really going to set me back in this battle quite a lot, because now he has the Substitute, he can Encore me, so I can't break his Substitute. And obviously this thing probably has Leech Seed and some other move. I'm hoping it's not Sleep Powder. I'm like praying to God that it's not Sleep Powder. So I go on to Sedinja basically for the free switch and see what he would do. Sedinja dies, but I knew that was going to happen anyway. Might as well get a free switch out of it. So he goes for the Leech Seed, and that means my worst fears are confirmed. I go on to Rayquaza now, and I'm just going to go for the Extreme Speed, so at least I can break that sub. And I do break the sub, but he goes for the Sleep Powder, so that's not really good for me at all, because now my Rayquaza is asleep and is going to be taking some hefty damage when he switches in again, so that sucks. And all because I forgot about Chlorophyll on that Jumpluff. You should always check these things, guys. Don't make mistakes like I did. And he goes for the sub again, and I'm just going to go for the Dark Pulse. I figure that if he kills me, it's going to be at end of turn, because all he has to damage me is the Poison and the Leech Seed. So I know at the very least I'll be able to get him to a point that if I sacrifice my Darkrai, he won't have his sub anymore. So really, I'm just letting him kill my Darkrai here, and that sucks, because my Darkrai is going to, I don't know. Don't misplay, guys. So not only am I going to lose my Darkrai and my Death Fodder switch into Ninja, but my Rayquaza is also asleep and have taken a quarter of his health due to Stealth Rocks. So this is not a good position for me. I'm just going to keep going for Dark Pulse. Like I said, I just want to get it to a point when my Darkrai goes down that the Jumpluff does not have any more health, or sorry, not a sub up. And by keep going Dark Pulse, it's going to guarantee that it doesn't have a sub up at the end. So this is kind of boring. I'm basically just waiting for my Darkrai to die, and he's going to continue subbing. So this part of the battle really isn't too exciting, unless you just like watching the stalling. But that's what Jumpluff does. Jumpluff in the sunlight is a pretty good idea, especially Permanent Sun. I mean, Jumpluff in OU really can't do a whole lot because he doesn't really have access to Permanent Sun, but in Ubers, Jumpluff can really be a powerful annoyer like this, because with Groudon, it gives him Permanent Sun, which means it's like faster than just about anything. It might be, it could be faster than Deoxys attack after Chlorophyll, or sorry, Deoxys speed. Probably is after Chlorophyll, so this is a Pokemon that can really do a lot of damage to just about any team in Ubers. So yeah, I think I have one more turn of life left, something like that, and I'm really doing doing no damage. Basically, I'm just trying to get rid of his sub for the next round. So he's up to the sub for the last time, I go for the Dark Pulse for the last time, and now I'm just basically going to die to the Leech Seed. So Darkrai will go down to Leech Seed, and at least I get a free switch into something else. So Darkrai goes down, and I'm going to take my free switch and go out into Mewtwo, because I know Mewtwo won't outspeed, but I will be able to go for a Flamethrower, which will take it out and do damage to basically anything because the sun is up, and the Flamethrower gets a boost from that. So I go for the Flamethrower. That's going to take down the Jumpluff. He just goes for Leech Seed, so I'm Leech Seeded, but at least I take down that annoying Jumpluff finally. And he goes out into a Wobbuffet, and I'm like, no, because his Magic Guard means I can't switch out, and I know he's probably just going to, use that mirror attack thing, which is a pain in the butt. So he does go for the Mirror Coat, which is basically counter for special attacks, and I just go for the Flamethrower, hoping to do some more damage than that, especially in the sun, but I don't get it, so that kind of sucks. But I know that I have a Sleeping Rayquaza, and Wobbuffet really can't do anything to me while I'm asleep because he won't be able to counter. And he's going to try to counter, I guess, waiting for me to wake up. And I didn't wake up this turn, but this does give me an opportunity to get a free wake up for Rayquaza. He's going to keep trying to counter. So at this point I'm thinking, well, he's going to keep going counter. I'm actually going to try to go for a Dragon Dance, because this is a Dragon Dancing Rayquaza, and I thought he'd try to go for the Encore, but instead he's going straight for the counter. So I'm hoping that he keeps going for the counter, because I go for the Dragon Dance, which means I'm super fast and now super powerful. He goes for the counter, and that's awesome, because I have Outrage, and I figure, you know what, Life Orb, Stabbed, Outrage with a Dragon Dance, that should take down the Wobbuffet, because Rayquaza has amazing attack. It's like 150 base, and the Outrage does take down the Wobbuffet after the Dragon Dance, so that was awesome for me. I get a Dragon Dance, and now my Rayquaza is looking to be pretty nice. He goes out into Palkia, but Palkia is weak against Dragon. I don't really know why he went out into this here, but he sacrificed it. He probably should have just sacrificed Groudon here, but it doesn't really matter because I do get the third Outrage, and that means he is going to have to sacrifice Groudon as well. So he goes out into Groudon, and this Rayquaza is coming up huge for me, thanks to him letting me set it up with Wobbuffet. And I go for the Outrage that kills the Groudon, and his last Pokemon is Giratina. I can't really safe switch in later, so I'm just going to try to go for the another Outrage. Now, I do get it, but even if I hadn't, I mean, I do have a Manaphy, a Tail Glow Manaphy with Ice Beam, not to mention a Deaxys attack with Ice Beam left, so I don't think I would have been a big problem. I probably would have still won. But good game, Pokemon Trainer. Pokemon Trainer Gak. It was a fun Ubers match. I haven't got a chance to do them in a long time. It was really enjoyable. I'll leave the link to his channel in the description. Check him out. Bye.
Today's a somewhat interesting question of the day. What non-Uber do you think works best in an Uber team? As you can see, I used a Shedinja. My opponent, I believe, used Fortress, but that's not really though it did so well for him. It was actually his NU, which was Jumpluff, but both work very, very well in Ubers. Jumpluff because of the Groudon support, and of course, Shedinja because he doesn't have many things that can hurt him in Ubers. Other good Pokemon that are in Ubers, I like Fortress is pretty good because he can set up some entry hazards pretty easily. Also, Blissey, as much as I hate it, I mean, the majority of Ubers is special, so Blissey works rather well. So leave a comment about your favorite non-Uber to be used in Ubers, and see you guys again next time. Bye.